The obvious is obvious, y'all. First of all, when I first met this gentleman, I was like, when I first met him, I said, can I just touch your hair? Like, I'm trying, I met him on my radio show, and I'm like talking, you know, there wasn't too many cameras, we do live because social media, but I was like, and he's like, what? I said, I just want to touch your hair. Is it real? Is it soft? And he was like, sure. And I was like, he's nice too. But after that, he spoke with so much intensity behind what he was saying and who he was on our topics. We just talked about life in general. And just a small snippet of his story, when he was saying it, I was like this under the mic, like, I was like, I want to do that. Wherever you do, I want to go there. I want to hear more. And he drew me in from when he talked, and our energy, our spirits and everything just connected. And I was just like, man, he's an amazing person. And I could tell genuinely on the inside and the out, he has a lot to offer for not just women, but and men too. And a great story behind it where, you know, of course you look at him, you're probably like intimidated, but when you hear him, you will want to get encouraged and uplift and want to know more about what he does, how he does it. He's been a great friend to me. His text messages are empowering and uplifting, always on time. I'm like, I don't know how, but I was like, you know, he's a man of God because he comes in handy, he comes in time, and every time I need it, I'm like, no, you can't lie to him. You can't lie to him because you know it's from God. Whatever you want to think you're going to say, like, no, I'm good. So, you want to talk about it? No, I'm good. So, you're going to talk about it. You're like, I'm talking about it. So, this is what happened, and I didn't feel this way. But he's a great person, great person. I could go on. I don't want to tell the story, but I've fallen in love with him first when I met him because of a good friend that he has become. And I would have to say he's like a brother to me. And Donovan Dee Donnell.
Appreciate it, Tati. Love you, Tati. All right. Hello, everybody. How you doing?
Hey.
Good. Awesome. I love to talk to people, and I love when people talk back to me. I'm referring to myself nowadays as a simple coach. I have the freedom to call myself what I want. Somebody over here told me I can do that, so I've been referring to myself as the simple coach. And the reason I've taken that route with my title is because I'm trying to help people live a life that is free from complication and free from condemnation. That covers everything the world tries to do to you, and that covers everything that you keep trying to do to yourself. Free from condemnation on self and free from complication. I want to cover 4 things today that I'm going to talk about when I share my story. That is overcoming idols, overcoming I do's, and finding a place to rest in I am. And then finally just being present to being. And say it with me. We're going to focus on overcoming idols, overcoming I do's, resting in I am, and finally just being super content and just being. So, a little bit about my story. Tati told me how to tell my story. I'm going to tell enough of my story in the next 10 minutes. Super encouraged by the panelists on here, and at the same time, it's cool because my story is totally different. This is my mom right here, the 25-year-old. I'm 38, she's 25, you do the math. I grew up with so much encouragement. I could do anything. At a young age, my mom told me I was energy wrapped in flesh, baby. God made you, He breathed into you. So the dust is your body, but your spirit comes from Him. You are energy wrapped in flesh. My father wasn't in my life, but man, the way she did her thing, I wasn't sure what I missed, but she made it clear to me. Because I tried to celebrate her one day on Father's Day. She said, no, I'm your mother. I could never be your father. All I can do is what a mother can do. But she did have male role models in my life to help me learn how to be a man, especially growing up in LA. So first of all, we have to overcome some idols. I love the fact that we have the life coach here for the actors because I swore up and down that I was going to be an LA Hollywood actor at a young age. I did the classes. I went to class. I did all the auditions. It took 3 years to get my first call back. Everybody aspiring to be an actor. Sometimes it doesn't go as planned. And sometimes because God has a different plan. Hollywood, I was trying to get into Hollywood, and sure enough, it's not as easy as I thought. And I learned during that time, which is something that I use now in my coaching, is that you don't have to sell your soul to obtain your dream. And this is something that a lot of people don't know. You don't have to sell your soul to obtain your dream, because I tell you right now, even outside of Hollywood, industries will definitely ask you for your soul up front. And it's very sneaky how they ask for it. And we're not even sure what we're giving up, because if no one's taught you the value of your soul, you think that it's cool, put it on the block, you know, let's negotiate this thing. So, seeking to be in Hollywood, trying to be an actor, trying to be a model, doing all kind of photo shoots, all kind. Let that just resonate for a second. All kind. Yeah, Mama don't know about all those. Slowly but surely, though, you know, I thought I was about to make it. High school, 12th grade, didn't pan out, didn't get accepted to this agency I was trying to get in. I got all these other odd jobs, and I got upset because Hollywood didn't want me. And the way that I got upset, now I look back and recognize it's because that was my God. I was being rejected by my God. So now where I'm at in my faith, like, how would it feel if God really rejected me? Felt just like I felt when I was 18 when Hollywood rejected me, because I had held Hollywood in such high esteem that Hollywood was my God. So for them to reject me was like my creator rejecting me, because I was created for Hollywood. I was created for acting. And because Hollywood rejected me, I went to her wicked stepsister, which was what? Strip club. Yeah, somebody knew it. That's Hollywood's wicked sister. I couldn't be an actor, so I became a stripper because I needed the stage. I needed the spotlight. I needed to be in front of people that were going to praise me. I was addicted to the praise, just like Satan in heaven. Glorify me because of how beautiful I am. Vanity became my best friend. That was really my worst enemy. And I was so involved in it, for 5 years. I was out there just trying to do whatever I could. Money was great, but I needed the attention, I needed the spotlight, I needed the praise. But I kept going to church in this process. And I would put all kind of $1 bills in the offering basket. And the church never complained. So I didn't think there was ever a problem. It's just big envelopes, you know, and God is good. You know, that's pretty much all I heard. I didn't put my name on the envelope, but you know, put that on in there. But I kept going to church, and the cool thing about it is that I don't care what kind of life you live, stay connected to God. He's not judging you. At least not yet. He's not judging you. He just wants you to be close to Him, and He just wants you to keep your heart open to Him. So I'm still going to church, and then I start having this battle, and God like, you keep chasing after these things. Hollywood didn't want you. The strip club, boy, I don't know what you sacrificing over there to have a little bit of praise. I mean, I had people bust out the back window of my car. I had somebody loosen up the lug nuts on my truck. So I was driving down the street, both my tires fell off the back. I done had some dangerous things happen to me, because and that was drama. That wasn't trauma. Them people was crazy.
Yeah, that was drama.
That was drama. That was drama. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
No, that was.
Okay. And so over time, I had this going on where I had these Donnie days. I would separate from my phone, and I had cash, so I'd go get me a hotel room service, and swimming all day, watching TV. But I spend those times like talking to God, like I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't fulfilled. I had all this praise and stuff, but I wasn't fulfilled. And I was talking to God, like, man, what do I need to do? God said, quit. Like, quit and do what? If anybody has a relationship with God, you know, sometimes that's the whole response. It's quit. So I'm giving God the very short version, because I'm honoring your time. I quit. Cold turkey, right after one of my biggest parties, man. I just made all this money, quit, didn't have a plan. I'll tell you all the rest of that story later. Fast forward to a few months, I was living in the basement that used to be a garage at my grandfather's church. Yeah, my grandfather was. Guess what they say about PKs are real. I don't know. Anyway, so he had his church, but it had an old garage at the bottom. And one of the garage was converted to like a storage room. So after having multiple cars, living, traveling, was sleeping on the air mattress in the garage. Yeah, the basement, the garage. I think it was a TV. I had a bench to work out on in there, and that was it. I had a TV, old school TV, somebody had left there. And it was during that time when God stripped me. Because I thought I was stripping before, until God stripped me. I was just taking off my clothes. God took everything off. And he told me when he stripped me naked, he said, you'll never know what's within until you have to live without. He took everything off of me, every desire I wanted, everything I was trying to prove to people, every insecurity. And he showed me how wonderfully, beautifully, and powerfully he had already made me. But I had put so much stuff on me, I couldn't even see me. My culture had told me all that I needed, but it never taught me who I was. The culture's voice was louder than my mom's voice. Because as much as she yelled and told me who I was, I had to choose to listen to her more than I did the culture, and I didn't. I listened to the culture. So in that basement, if anybody's going through a hard time, keep on living. That is the favorite part of my life so far. Because I got a chance to see myself. I never knew what was in until I had to live without. And then I started looking at me, I'm like, dude, I got this going on. I'm kind of smart. You know, I don't have to keep relying on my looks. Like, I'm kind of smart. Looks gonna fade one day too. I better hurry up and get smarter. You know? And so, man, 5 years at the strip club, a year after, maybe a little bit less, I got the opportunity to teach a Bible study because my grandmother had passed away. My grandfather didn't want to teach it. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. You know, he was letting all these people try to do it. And after he asked me to do it, he didn't ask anybody else. So then I taught Bible study for about 5 years. Yeah, you figure that out. Yes, it started weird, okay? Yes, some of my customers came to church. You know, it just was what it was. I don't know how to really control that. But because my faith was real, my conversion was real, they felt it, and a lot of them also changed their life and came to Christ.
Yes.
Of course, they had the struggles in between there with the flesh, which I had, but it all came full circle. I found myself teaching a Bible study. I ended up, God called me to move to Texas. Moved to Texas, became a photographer, and I'm out in Texas trying to make the photography thing work. My grandfather passes away, and then I got, you know, it was my grandfather and it was me. So before he passed away, he said, take care of my family. So I'm like, all right, no father, just a mother. Grandfather and I became close after the club, so I only had a few years with him. Now I have this family as a responsibility. What am I supposed to do? I remember one of my mentors told me, you can get frustrated, or you can get creative. You figure it out. And so I really dove into photography. Photography was good to me. God called me back home to LA, so I got back to LA. Everybody's a photographer, so that failed. Everybody is a photographer, literally. And I'm like, okay, so I didn't make any money out here doing that. So I'm like trying to make rent and stuff, have to live back with my mom. Ended up renting out a room with my sisters, and then I found out I found this church in Whittier, and they had a great family atmosphere, so I started going, but it was far, and I didn't have much money, so I would go to church some days and didn't know how I was going to get back home. But God worked it out.
Yes.
Like he always does. But being at that church was pivotal because that's where I met one of my mentors, which is my bishop, who started a life coaching school with a master coach from another organization. And that program got me certified to become a life coach, which I am today. And so that process of me going from taking my clothes off to teaching Bible study to becoming like, it was a process. This was overcoming idols. All that was overcoming idols. Now, I feel like I'm really an entrepreneur. You know, I'm a life coach. I got 2 books I've written, and you know, and now it's tricky. It's tricky because now I got a new idol, which I don't call an idol. I call it I do, because now I'm so focused on all that I'm doing. So now my life is all consumed about I gotta do this and I gotta do that. And I don't have time to rest. I don't have time to stop. I don't have time to quit. I don't have time to slow down. It's about I'm doing this and I'm doing this and I'm doing this, and I was wearing myself out because subconsciously what was going on in the background is that I had to make up for all those years of bad that I had did, which I call bad. And so I was caught up in doing, and I literally wore myself out. Some of my close friends will tell you, like, I neglected a lot of my essentials for the likes, trying to get jobs, trying to promote my brand and marketing. And again, God had to sit me down one day in one of my quiet days, and he was like, shut it all off. I couldn't finish my book that I was trying to write, my 3rd book. He wouldn't give me any more clients. The clients I had, I ended their session, nobody re-upped. Photography wasn't working in LA, and here I am again. And of course, unlike you, went to go try to find a job, and they rejected you. I didn't want to go get a job, but that's what I had to end up doing because that was my path. I had to get me a 9-to-5, and I had to work part-time, and I started to just get my income together, and I still wasn't getting any clients, and nobody wanted to buy my book. And the crazy story, if I got no time to tell it real quick, was a white elephant party. And I took one of my books to the white elephant party like I was a bless them. I know they said a $20 limit. But watch what this $1,000 book don't do to somebody, you know? Hey, you know, if you ever play white elephant, people pass the gifts around, and at the end, the person with my book was like, ooh. I was like, dude, that book is, that's gold. I felt so bad. I ended up giving them, I got this wonderful soft blanket. I said, hey, you can take the blanket and I'll take the book back. And it's like, oh my God, thank you so much. God taught me that I needed to relax a little bit. I needed to rest because I was putting so much expectation in the industry and in the people that I didn't realize I was doing the same thing I was doing when I was 18. Still trying to look for validation, still looking for affirmation from people to just say, yeah, you are who you say that you are. And I stopped and I started to rest in who I am. I recognize that as I talk to my clients through the process of making an I am list of who I am and who I am not, I tell them this is not who you're becoming. This is who you already are. This is who you've always been. Even when you made those bad decisions, that was still who you are. God made you that way. He didn't say, okay, I'm going to get you there eventually. It's always who you are. Life's journey was about removing everything that I'm not so who I am can come forth. But I wasn't deep enough into it, so I wasn't practicing what I was supposed to preach. I had no idea, but I didn't have any idea because I wouldn't stop to get one. So he slowed me down. Rest. Took everything away. Put me in rest, put me in this cave, put me in this quietness. Then he brought me back out different. So I was resting and I am. And he told me just be present to your being. Stop trying to do everything and just be. Just be. Let everything come from your being. There's so much depth to that I'm not going to get into today. But I finally got to the place where I'm being who I am being, and my being is present right now. And one thing I wanted to tell you guys today is to be. Yeah. You was waiting for something else, right? That was me my whole life, so be what? Just be who? Be you. Be like how? Like just be. Just be. And the concept is definitely something you have to sit and meditate and pray on, let God bring to you. Because he was showing me that it was in my being, in the trueness of my authenticity, that my beauty came forth. Yeah, man, we can have beauty too, you know? My beauty came forth. And it was powerful. People were impacted by it, and I still didn't care about that anymore. I'm like, that's fine. I love that you're impacted by it. I don't need the praise. I don't need you to give me all these affirmations. I am who I am, and that's all that I am. Might be Popeye the Sailor Man. That was one of my idols as a kid. And some of these things don't hit you until later. But that was Popeye used to always say, that I am, and that's all that I am. And I used to love him as a kid, but now it comes back and it resonates to something real psychological. Anyway, so all that fun stuff, that was me overcoming idols, overcoming I-do's. That was me finding our ability to rest in I am, and now I'm just present to being. And that's what I like to share with people in my coaching sessions and through my books. Just to be present to your being. You're enough. You are. You are. Her voice was deep. Mine was super high. And they called me Mike Tyson because I had a real high voice. If you hear my voice, literally, it doesn't match my body. I don't think it does. And people are like, no, it matches. It sounds fine. It sounds fine. And so the thing about insecurity is that it's inner work that you do to create an issue that doesn't have to exist, but you're just trying to find something. But you're good. You're enough. For everybody there who's an entrepreneur, I want to give you an opportunity to simply just get this book. Everything I talked about today is not a business book. It's not about how to win business. This is called Evolving the Entrepreneur. It's talking about you. Your stagnation is not a result of your business practice all the time. Sometimes it is. Sometimes your stagnation is a result of a misalignment within yourself. You're not aligned. Your being is not aligned with your purpose, and your purpose is not aligned with your values, and your values are not aligned in the promises that you've made to yourself. You keep breaking promises you've made to yourself, or you haven't even made promises to yourself. You're in the industry hoping and wishing and fishing, and God said, I didn't make you for that. I've already set aside a destiny for you that is successful and prosperous, and you don't have to do anything. You just have to be. So I want to thank Tati for the opportunity to come up here and share with you guys. I have a book in the back called Before the I Do. Again, it's a self-reflective book. It's about getting yourself right in your relationship with yourself and your relationship with God before you give somebody else a headache. Get yourself right. And if you're already married, it's not too late. It's not too late to get some things right within yourself. This book, Evolving Entrepreneur, is available on my website. You can go there and get that. And finally, my last book, my third book, not my last, is about the strip club. It's called The Stripped Club. The subtitle always gets me, so let me say this without tears. They have a mind of their own, don't they? All right. The subtitle is Lost It All, Trying to Gain It All, Wondering if it was all worth it. So if you want to take that journey with me, that book should be available later on this year when God gives me permission to finally say that's it and to publish it. And that is hopefully around 10 to 12 minutes. Tati, I appreciate you guys listening to me. And
Told y'all he had some good hair, right?